love that are around us. In Jesus' name we pray.
Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Before we get to the agenda itself, I need to amend the agenda. Can I have a motion to amend the agenda with the addition of item number 5, consideration approval of the Habersham County Mitigation Plan 2023, resolution number 2024-08149R, and to add an executive session for land acquisition and disposal. I have a motion from Councilman Venter. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second from Councilwoman Davis. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. First item on the agenda is our consent agenda, approval of minutes for council meeting 8/12/2024. Has everybody had an opportunity to see the minutes? They were sent by email. Yes. Any comments, corrections, concerns? Seeing none, can I have a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented?
So moved.
I have a motion from Councilwoman Venter. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second from Councilwoman Davis. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. We have public comments. If there is any Baldwin resident or business owner who has business with the city who would like to address council, please come forward, state your name and address and your business with the city.
Hello, my name is Paul Wolf. I'm live just a little ways over here on 170 Banks Ridge Drive, and came here moved here 7 years ago, 2017, 8 years ago, coming up on that, and work right over here at Magnolia Windows, and run their IT department there. So I've been in the community for a long time, and I've enjoyed living here. It's a great community to live in, very peaceful, quiet, especially over there in that Banks Ridge cul-de-sac. It's very quiet there. I don't have any through traffic. So it's been great. The reason I was invited to the committee meeting and the council meeting was I had issued some complaints about the garbage collection, and because normally it's good, but every once in a while I got an extra bag full extra garbage bag of stuff that won't fit inside the container, too big, and they drove right by, picked up, dumped the container, and left the garbage bag sitting there. And that happened several times, and I shouldn't say several times because it's not like I do this on a regular basis, but 2-3 times this happened, and it's not like I have this problem every week. It's just occasionally, and so I got kind of upset because I know I'm paying for garbage collection, and I see my real estate taxes soaring through the roof since I moved in here, and I got kind of upset, kind of like, okay, so what am I paying all these taxes for? And we had an exchange of emails, and it was explained to me, well, the garbage collection comes from the garbage fees, not to the general fund that the real estate taxes go into. And I understand that, but still, and it was explained to me that, well, they're meeting their obligations per the contract. And I said, well, who wrote the specifications for the contract? The city. So I would like to encourage you when that issue comes up again next year, that the contract that's issued, the bid request for bid that goes out, includes provisions for, hey, an occasional extra bag should be picked up. I can understand if I was had bought new furniture and I've got a bunch of old chairs and couches sitting out there that need to be collected. No, I wouldn't expect them to take that. But an occasional extra garbage bag, I think that is something that should be considered and included in the next year's contract for garbage collection. And the reason I'm coming here is I've been here for several years and I haven't gotten involved. I don't know a lot of people from the city other than the people I work with, so I thought, Stephanie's invitation, I thought it's time to get here and meet some people, some other people from the city and try to be a good neighbor.
Thank you so
you.
much.
And
So,
can I say something? I'm in his neighborhood.
Okay.
And I will say this, when he left that out there, he left it so neat right next to his trash can. I mean, cause when I went by that day, I thought, why didn't they get that? I mean, he had it so stacked.
he sent a
Yeah.
photo. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you saw, so you
Thank you.
just wanted to speak up for you, Paul. Good job.
Thank you, Marcia. You have your own cheering section.
If you happen to be at home, and you catch them and you ask them, they will take extra stuff that's not in the bin. If you happen to
But
be
they
there.
will, one of the things that Mr. Wolf and I talked about is that if you do have extra trash that sits outside your bin, call City Hall, and we'll get you on the list, and they will pick it up. So all you do is call City Hall. John was able to get you on the list, and they picked up not only yours, but another neighbor who had some extra.
I noticed another neighbor down the street, he had an extra bag of garbage sitting beside the container, and that was also gone that same day. And, I just think that should be the norm unless it gets abused. Now, how do you measure abuse?
Right. It
No.
also gave us an opportunity to talk about the fact that there is recycling in the county. As a way just to reduce the amount of trash you have, there are 2 recycling centers in the county. And you live in Banks County, so I'm not sure where your recycling
Right.
center is in Banks County. You don't have it at all?
Well, I mean, the one that's over there used to be Tenkai, it's something else now. I mean, they don't ask you where you
That's
come from.
Aberdan.
They don't ask you where you come from. I've been doing it for years.
Well, and you are a Baldwin resident, so.
Right.
Well, and then the other thing to note is we have another Amnesty Day coming up. Do we have the date of that? November 7th. So for anybody who's listening for the newspaper, we're gonna have another Amnesty Day. Remember, we do spring cleanup, right? And keep our city peachy clean. But it will just be one day and you need to call and get on the list. And so Public Works will do one pass just for the folks who are on the list. So Mr. Wolf said he had a TV that wasn't working. If you have metal, if you have scrap metal, we will not take this time tires or batteries. Those are the 2 things we won't take. But if you're a Baldwin City resident, Amnesty Day is November 7th. Call City Hall, call John, get on the list, and we will stop by your house. And everything needs to be out the night before or early that morning, like by 8 o'clock, the morning of the 7th. So the guys will go by, they're only doing that one pass. If you miss it, you miss it. So call ahead.
No in-laws this year?
No, in-laws.
Or moms.
I think you were onto something when you said, within reason, it should be the norm, without being abused, but how, like you mentioned, how do you define what the abuse is? And I suspect the reason why that's in there already is because that was a thing.
Yeah, I think too, for the contractor themselves, they plan their days based on the number of cans that they're gonna pick up and the number of times that they're gonna have to haul, or not maybe it's to a transfer station, but if they're having to haul it all the way to one of the landfills and they're picking up additional garbage here and there, they fill up quicker and they have to make a trip quicker to the landfill that they weren't anticipating, which then throws off the rest of the schedule. And with our current provider, they're only off 2 days, 2 holidays. The rest of them are working. And so to shift their schedule, it shifts everything for the rest of the year.
I noticed that, I've noticed that like on holidays, like around Christmas, when there's always a lot of extra wrapping paper and stuff like that, they've made exceptions where they actually, and then also it seems like they know, well, I guess they know from the spreadsheet, when someone takes up new residency in a home, they seem to make an exception for that too. Some people stick stuff out of it, but I'm glad that you brought that to our attention, and I'm glad that we were able to get it resolved somehow without, too much trouble.
Right. Yeah, I think it should be, they should be have the capacity or plan to have the capacity to do that on an occasional basis, with the exception, unless it's abused, then you get into a problem, like you said, how do you define abuse? Is it more than once a month is abuse? Is it more than once every 2 months? Or is it, I can do it every week and that's not considered abuse?
And at what point do you need a second can?
Right.
Right,
Yeah,
so
we have to
there is a possibility for a second can as well. So, okay. Thank you, Mr. Wolf. Oh, I'm sorry, did you have? Okay. Thank you, Mr. Wolf, we appreciate you coming. It's good to meet you. Next on the agenda, there are no public hearings, so Chief Lloyd, Fire Department report.
Good evening, Mayor, Council.
Good evening.
So our report is gonna be from January to July. I hope I got it to Aaron quick enough. Did they get that spreadsheet?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. I was late on that, sorry. So top priorities for the fire department is personnel and equipment, continued improvements to our training facility, newer apparatus to reduce maintenance and costs, repair costs, improved community relations along with fire prevention, an EMTB class standard for all fire personnel. The City of Allen responded to 545 calls from January through July, and we're gonna flip over to that spreadsheet. I'm gonna roughly just go through it, tell you what kind of calls. So under fire, that could be a brush fire, house fire, a car fire, trash fire, any kind of fire. We've had 24 of those calls. Overpressure, ruptured, or explosions, we've had 2. Rescue and emergency medical services, that includes all medical plus car accidents, 374. Hazardous conditions with no fire, 14. Service calls, which could be anything from an animal problem to a police matter, smoke odor removal, just several different kinds. There are 33. Good intent calls. Now this one here, we run a lot of it, but it includes authorized controlled burning. So in other words, we get called on a possibly illegal burn, we get out there and they're doing it right. Dispatch and canceled en route. We have a lot of them, you see 41. Dispatch and canceled en route on the EMS side. Dispatch and canceled en route on fire alarms. Hazmat release investigations with no hazmat. No incident found on arrival at dispatch address. Smoke scared or odor of smoke. So there's 74 of them calls in 6 months. False alarm calls, those are fire alarm system activations. Somebody calls in and says their smoke detector's going off or their gas detector's going off, or sprinkler activation. We've had 23 of them. And then special incident type, which was a citizen complaint, we have 1. So that was total 545. Training, back to the front page. The training officer logged multiple hours of training from January through the month of July. Monthly training hours recorded was 2,510 hours. Monthly training covers multiple firefighting skills, officer building, EMS review that aligns with the job requirements. Down below, you see classes taught was a 40-hour instructor 1 that we had in-house. We had a firefighter 1 class, 240 hours, and we had a hazmat awareness and operations, 40 hours. I want to make everybody aware that firefighter 1 class that was taught, all my guys participated in that class on teaching, and they taught 6 girls from the prison fire department, and they were able to get their state firefighter 1 through us teaching them and doing their hands-on skills. That's being done again right now as we speak with 6 recruits that we've got, where we're going to hire 3 out of these 6 recruits. So that same class is being taught again, and plus hazmat ops and hazmat awareness is involved in that. The medical EMT will come later. Acquired equipment, forcible entry window simulator for, I don't know if y'all have noticed the burn building out there, where that yellow window in the side of it, that's a forcible entry window. Right below is the forcible entry door that you allowed us to buy also. Additional helmet cams. So the cameras on the helmets, that we get live footage from inside on calls, car wrecks and stuff like that. 3-inch key hose for fire, or for engine 41, 42, and 43. 1 3/4 new hose for high-rise packs for engine 41 and 42. Those are the packs that we have on the truck already pre-made of 100 foot with a nozzle that we carry up the stairwells to the apartments, any apartment. Battery-powered positive pressure fan for engine 42. New seat ticks, handheld and personal for air packs. So we was there about 6 of them, and they are a small unit that's a thermal imaging camera with a flashlight built in it, and it hangs on the air packs, and it's on a pull string. So when they're in there and they get a call, hey, we might have something trapped, they automatically have that, turn it on. And plus they'll even use it to find fire. So it'll show fire in walls, it'll show fire inside ceilings, so they know where to pull. Thermal camera for the drone. So now our drone is equipped with thermal, which is highly effective. We used it the night that the boy was lost across the street there all night long. We did our best with it. We worked with it for hours, and then they called in State Patrol with the chopper, and they used their high-tech one. And unfortunately, we never did catch him, but he did come home that morning, so that was a good thing. Truck and maintenance. Squad 41 had its oil changed. AC 41, which is Assistant Chief's vehicle, went to Wilbanks Body Shop for repairs. Tower 41 went out of service for pump repairs July 10th, returned to service July 19th. Went back out of service for additional pump issues from July 26th. Squad 41 was in service 100% of the year, or 6 months. Engine 41 was in service for 98%. Tower, the ladder truck was in service for only 31% due to the pump issues and repairs. Engine 42 was out of service for 70%. Engine 43 was in service, it was only in service 70%, and engine 43 was in service 85%. Pump 4 is still out back. We're still trying to figure out what to do with that. We've tried selling it. We really had no hits on it. It was listed for almost a year. I take it off, trying to wait to see what might happen with the possibility of the second station. Thinking maybe I could do some trading down the line or something. It's a good, I say it's a good truck. We've had a lot of issues. But right now, it's working. It's been fixed, and it's repaired. It passes pump test, passes DOT test. So anybody could actually take that truck and use it.
How old is that truck, Chief?
It is 25 years old. Monthly events, we had none in January, February, March. Community event at Baldwin Baptist. April, we helped with City Cleanup Day. Movie night at the market. May, Public Safety Day, we got rained out. June, we assisted in the Alto Parade, the Baldwin Baptist Water Night, the Water War, Baldwin City Picnic, and fireworks. July, participated in the Back to School Bash tournament, which was a softball tournament to raise money for School Bash. And then on July 20th, of course, the Back to School Bash. Funds generated for community outreach program. Approximately $2,800 was raised for the Back to School Bash through the softball tournament. Other funds raised through movie night concession sales for Shop with a Hero, which is highly thankful from the fire department to the city for doing that. Every little bit helps, and you know, I've been recording that stuff, and we're somewhere around almost $500 that thing's, the snacks I've made, so it adds up quickly. Any questions?
Yes, I have a question. As far as the Shop with a Hero program, how are you guys doing compared to previous years as far as funding is concerned?
The only
I hear
funding-
we wanna do more every year,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, the only funding we've done for this year is, of course, the snacks. This time is the time of the year that we normally do the gun raffle. And I know the city said that we could, but no AR was involved in it. So right now, they gave us a list of guns, and we chose 10, because we're gonna do 10 guns for $10. 10 chances to win, so if you win a gun, it goes right, your name goes right back in the pot again for the next day.
Right.
But they are all like 22s, rifles, hunting rifles, 308, 30-06. So they're just basically hunting rifles.
Oh, well, you can hunt with an AR-15 too, we've done it.
Yeah, AR-15, unfortunately, it's got the same bad
Yeah,
press as the pit bulls, you know,
right, yeah,
basically.
yeah,
People don't understand.
right.
So when will tickets be available?
Well, they're being made now, so as soon as I get them, hopefully this week, and we'll start some.
Awesome. Last year, Shop with a Hero, you and the police department brought, what, 12, 13 children shopping?
Gee, you remember how many children we did last year? 13?
On the Shop with a Hero, I do not.
It was somewhere around 13.
13, and how much money did we spend?
They get to spend $300, 150 on clothes, 150. Am I saying that right? 300?
I think so.
150 on clothes, 150 on toys. Yeah.
Chief, one of the things that you and I have talked about for the fire department is the way electric vehicles are affecting the staff and the work that you do. Can you talk a little bit about the accidents that you see on the highway, the fires in cars that are EVs or hybrids, and what we need to be thinking about moving into the future with more EVs on the road?
Yeah, that's a tough subject. Fortunately, we have not had one, and I'm really surprised that we hadn't had one, even involved in a collision. But the ones that are having them, they've come out with several different things to try to deal with that fires, and nothing is working. So those batteries, the cells, when it catches fire, them cells just ignite cell after cell after cell, and they're actual explosions that's
Yeah.
happening. But those batteries, it's just like, I can't think of the name of it, but you could let it sit on the ground and burn, and it'll burn a hole in the ground. You can't put it out. Foam doesn't put it out. Water definitely doesn't. It intensifies it. And foam, when you spray foam, you gotta spray it with water. The blankets that they came out with, they're really failing. They're not doing the job.
Yeah.
Then they came out with this thing that you can drive, the fire department can drive up underneath the car, and it'll punch a hole in the plate underneath those batteries and spray water up in there. That's not working. In fact, they've had issues when it's punctured their battery cell.
So are they, I think,
I actually dealt with a Nissan Leaf
Yeah.
that caught fire at one of my stations in Johns Creek. And they were able to put that thing out real quick, so I'll reach out.
Was the batteries on fire though?
What's that?
Was the batteries on fire?
Oh, yeah, no, they didn't melt the
Yeah.
but they put it out real quick within a couple of minutes.
Hmm.
So I'll reach out and see
Yeah.
what they did.
that would be,
Definitely. Let me know.
Do you and your men have what you need to be safe?
Yes.
If you were
We may be hitting you up with some, well, fortunately, you guys let us put turnout gear in the budget. So that's been helping us tremendously, being able to buy 3 sets, 2 sets here to there. I would say the biggest thing is the trucks.
Yeah.
Upgrading the 2 engines we've got. They're over 20, 25, 30 years old, so anywhere between 20 and 30 years. And they're real hard to find parts. That's why when they get broke down, they stay broke down for months.
Yeah.
Just so the folks who are listening understand what we're talking about, what does a fire truck cost if we were to buy it new?
Last one we bought was $690,000.
Oh, yeah, but we were.
Now that truck, 5 years ago probably went for $400,000. And the price increase on the trucks is just crazy.
That was the ladder truck, wasn't it?
No, that was the engine.
Yeah,
The news one.
the ladder truck, I don't recall now.
The ladder truck, we bought it used,
Yeah.
and we got a sweet deal for $125,000 on that.
Yes. Oh, that's right, it came from, Mount Pleasant, South Carolina.
Yes.
Yes. Very fortunate.
Yes.
The fire department there did not want to get rid of it. And
They,
we were blessed with it.
Yeah, they bought 2 new ladder trucks, and each one of them was 1.2 million.
Yeah, that was, yes.
And now it's up to 1.4.
Okay, yeah, just so people who are listening understand what we're talking about.
Yeah.
You know, why we hold on to things and make it work.
Yeah.
So, Chief, thank you for.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, there being no old business, we'll move on to new business. The first item is consideration approval of Habersham County Road Study. Is that Ms. Woodmaster?
Well, good evening.
Good evening.
All right, on page 1 of your packet, you have the council action form from Scott, our public works director, who is requesting that we do a road survey of all of our Habersham County roads. As most of you know, Habersham County roads need work that Banks County roads do not, because Banks County benefits from having a T-SPOS in their jurisdiction. Habersham County does not, and we do have some funds available for road improvements. Just 2 years ago, well, a year ago it was completed, but 2 years ago we approved the Chandler Heights subdivision road paving that was completed using LMIG and SPOS funds, SPOS 7 from Habersham County. And we do still have SPOS funds available for roads. However, Scott and I both agree that we would like to do a survey of all of the roads to determine which one needs to be repaved first, and what takes top priority. So we reached out to EMI to give us a quote on what that would cost, and that is gonna be $6,600. This is an expense that Scott feels can come from the street department budget, but it is over that $5,000 threshold, so we are requesting your approval.
I think that's great, because we have quite a number of road miles in Habersham County, and really prioritizing those is gonna be the best way to eat an elephant, is one bite at a time.
And it helps us talk to the residents too, when they come and they say, like, roads need this and that. So
Yeah.
we have this study.
Island Point, yeah, yes,
Yeah.
yeah, it does.
Any other questions?
No, I know we did it, yeah.
Okay, can I have a motion to approve the Habersham County Road Study not to exceed $6,600 and to be expensed from the street department budget as presented?
So moved.
A motion from Councilman Venter, do I have a second?
I'll second that.
I have a second from Councilman Keith, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Okay. Second item under new business, consideration approval of the purchase of the public works mower.
All right, this is also in your packet on page 4 of your council action form that does explain this was a budgeted expense. This is one of the 2 that Scott tried
Tried with that.
passionately to cut, and we refused to let him.
Yes.
It's time. We've had one out of commission for quite a while. It went back up for about 25 minutes. And then it went
coming back up.
Yep.
So we're proposing, to replace that zero turn mower, at this time. Again, this is coming from the street department budget. This was a budgeted expense. The cost, given to us from James Short Tractor was $9,787.72.
Yeah.
We did budget 10,000 for that. I'm sorry?
Do we know what kind of motor it's got?
Is it a
Sorry,
I can find
moving
out.
on. Moving on.
Kawasaki?
I'm happy to.
This would
It is a
master-
Kawasaki.
I know.
What will we do with the old mower, the broken one?
It will be surplus.
Oh, isn't that the one that they surfaced in the last meeting, I think?
Yeah, it was in the
It was
proposal,
on for a
yes.
couple minutes and died completely.
Yeah.
Yep.
We tried, we worked with what we got to a point. Right.
I'm sure Joey will be more than full of gratitude.
Yes, I'm sure he will.
Probably will have his own whole town motor.
Yeah. And James Short gives us great, yeah.
And let me tell you, our residents love seeing Joey.
Yes,
You know,
they
they
do.
say, who's the guy who mows so fast with the glasses on?
Yeah.
We love seeing him out there, so.
Yeah, it's something. It
All
really is.
right. Any other concerns?
Vehicle.
Okay. Can I have a motion to authorize the purchase of a public works mower not to exceed $10,000 and to be expensed from the streets department budget as presented?
So,
I have a motion from Councilman Mentor, do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second from Councilwoman Davis, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries unanimously. Third item under new business, consideration approval of updated Blue Line Solutions contract.
So it is by way of the contract change. I wanted to bring it down so you guys understood what we were amending. We approved the Blue Line Solutions contract in 2019. That was approved using this document as this is how they're gonna get it done, why they're allowed to do it. And all of it was detailed in here. It's not called out in the contract itself though. But the contract, sorry.
He doesn't have a copy of it. Sorry.
Sorry, I apologize, guys, I just don't know.
So I have what, hold on, I've got 2 of those.
We were having printer
I
error
have-
earlier.
I have 3 of these, yeah.
Let me double check to see
I
if
don't
this
have
one is.
the mobile one.
We did have a bit of a printer meltdown
No?
today, so we apologize. It was like.
This one appears to
it
be
was like
fully intact.
printing
If you want to merge them
I
later.
printed the same thing twice, but.
It must be in the stars because my printer didn't give me.
Okay, sorry about that, guys.
All right, so in your packet, you have an acknowledgement of agreement between the Georgia Department of Revenue and the City of Baldwin. And that is because the law changed to clarify some things with regard to speed zone detection cameras. So the contract that we have, there's nothing being changed in the contract other than enforcing the clause that we're gonna stay up to date on all of the codes and regulations that the state set before us. So this is just an acknowledgement that we do see the rule, we're acknowledging the rule, and Blue Line Solutions, the contractor that we use for the cameras, they're the ones that sent this to us. So they've acknowledged this change in the law. On page 8 of your packet, items number 11 and 12 were implemented to ensure clarity for the violator. So they know who they're supposed to contact in the event that they did receive a citation, where to pay it, the phone number to use, and the name of the contact for the agency representative. So you'll see on page 8 that the school zone photo citation processing center is the 855 number with the violationpayment.net as the website, and then the governing body has authorized the designation of the agent below, which is Melissa Parsons, the director of the agency operations at Blue Line Solutions. So this is what we're amending, that we're calling out who exactly they're supposed to communicate with in the event that they receive a citation. This was not originally contemplated in the official code. So this is just an acknowledgement that we agree that we're gonna add that for clarity.
The letters, they had some calls about
Yeah.
the letters, they're like, hey, is this a scam because it's going to Tennessee and, things like
Yep.
that, yeah. So it's good, clarification is all, yeah.
But there is no other changes to the contract or the agreement or how the cameras operate.
Right.
This is really and truly just acknowledging that the government of Georgia has changed the law, and we will honor it.
That's fine, yeah. And it's good.
All right, can I have a motion to approve the updated Blue Line Solutions contract by authorizing the acknowledgement of agreement between the City of Baldwin and Georgia Department of Revenue as presented, and to authorize the CAO to execute the agreement?
So moved.
Motion from Councilwoman Fletcher, do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second from Councilwoman Davis. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, motion carries. Item number 4, consideration and approval of cemetery overlay resolution number 2024-08148R.
Alright, this is a resolution just explaining and clarifying for the general public that we are not selling plots in the old section of the cemetery. There are a number of recording errors, and in some instances, we may not know who owns a plot in there. This was land that was deeded to us many, many, many moons ago. And it is very difficult for us to determine if somebody has ownership in one of those plots. So the council, twice now, I believe, but especially a few months ago when we adopted the new policies for the cemetery, agreed that this was not going to take place. We recommended a resolution to encourage the public to read that we will not be selling these. And to make it clear what we're not selling, Erin has created on page 12 of your packet a cemetery overlay. So you'll see the red section of the cemetery is what we are calling the old section of the cemetery, that we will not sell any of the land plots that are in this area. If somebody has ownership in them, they're more than welcome to utilize them. However, we will not issue certificates of deed for any of the land in that area with your approval. So this resolution is to call out what we're not going to do, that we're not going to sell these plots, and that we're using this as the reference point. So if you're looking for something in this area, we're not able to sell it.
First of all, thank you, Erin, for your hard work. And Emily, you've also put in many, many, many hours on the cemetery. And I'm glad that we're laying this out and putting this resolution's proposed. We've had some very heated residents or people who desire to purchase plots in there, very upset that we couldn't sell, and kept coming back with, well, if there's ground penetrating radar and something about drones, and it's not about whether or not there are bodies in the ground, it's about we don't have clear title to the land, to the actual real estate itself. And so if someone in the future, they, clean out their blocker at the bank and, oh, we've got title to these cemetery plots, and then they get there and somebody's already buried there, then that is something that I don't want to leave on future council. And I understand that some people may think, oh, that's just not fair, but what wouldn't be fair is that. So this is lesser of the evils, right? So I just wanted to point that out, and thank you for your hard work.
Okay, anything else? Can I have a motion to approve the cemetery overlay resolution number 2024-0814R as presented?
So moved.
I have a motion from Councilwoman Venter. Do I have a second?
Second that.
I have a second from Councilman Keith. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, the addition of item number 5, consideration approval of the Habersham County Hazard Mitigation Plan 2023, resolution number 2024-08149R.
Alright, this is on page 13 of your packet. Every 5 years, we update our hazard mitigation plan. We have one with both Banks County and with Habersham County. A few months ago, you guys adopted the Banks County hazard mitigation plan, and we finished these discussions with Habersham County last September. It finally came back to Habersham County as approved and ready to be stamped. So we follow suit with a resolution saying that we agree with the hazard mitigation plan for 2023 by resolution. So that is what this is tonight. A number of us were present for the hazard mitigation conversations. One of the, I guess, plus sides of many of us joining in that room from Baldwin was that we decided that annually we're gonna evaluate our section of the hazard mitigation plan and determine changes that we wanna make and submit them. Because for those of you who are new to the hazard mitigation world, these are required documents from FEMA and GEMA. And when there is an environmental, what's the word? A disaster, thank you. That there's access to funding that becomes available in situations where we might be impacted by that disaster. But it has to be in your plan. So thinking through all of the things that could happen, may happen, in another world might happen, and being able to contemplate that, put it on paper. And so in the event that that happens to Baldwin, we're able to leverage the hazard mitigation plan to go after that funding. So that is actually happening at our council retreat this fall, so that's exciting. So come prepared with all the crazy things that could happen.
Yeah.
I know one thing, I don't know if we actually got it added this year, we may have, but we talked about tornado shelters for our manufactured home communities and what that looks like, and we talked about like hillsides and codes and all kinds of things, so.
Bunker.
Yeah.
I had time to ask for it on my list.
You had one? An asterisk. Oh. Okay, thank you. Can I have a motion to approve the Habersham County Hazard Mitigation Plan 2023, resolution number 2024-08149R, as presented?
I'll make that one.
I have a motion from Councilman Detter. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second from Councilwoman Davis. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Okay, that is the end of the new business. The next item on the agenda is executive session. Before we go into executive session, I'm going to take a point of privilege and read the announcements, so folks in the gallery don't have to stay. And after the announcements, then we'll go into executive session. We'll come back, into regular session, and then we will dismiss from there. Announcements. Join us for the Movies in the Market on September 27th, starting at 8:30 p.m. Bring your lawn chairs and blankets and join us for a free night of fun at the Farmers Market at 1110 Airport Road. This month we are showing If. Concessions will be available with all proceeds going to Shop at the Hero. I would take a point of privilege and thank everybody who came out to see Minions last Friday. We had a nice little crowd and great movie. Got to talk to some good folks and meet our neighbors. And Baldwin folks come out. I mean, it was mostly Cornelia and Deborah, so you know, we want to see the Baldwin folks there. Any other announcements from council?
Yes. I would like to just take this time to announce that, in conjunction with Reading with the Mayor, Baldwin now has a silent book club that will be having their first meeting on September the 8th from 2 to 4 at the Sweet Acre Farm Winery. And it will be the second Sunday of every month going forward. So if you're interested, please contact me. We'd love for you to come out.
Do you want to explain what a silent book club is? It seems.
Okay. Well, what a silent book club is, it's just a time for readers to come together. So at 2 o'clock, we'll all meet and mingle. And then at 2:30, we will go into our silent read. So what that means is you just bring whatever device, book, newspaper, whatever you would like to read. And from 2:30 to 3:30, we'll do just that. And at 3:30 to 4, we'll come back together and mingle some more, do some book talking. So just a time for readers to get together.
Nice. Love it. I love that. You can read at your own pace and what you want. You're not beholden to somebody's book choice.
Right.
So, yeah, love
You're
that.
at a winery.
Yes.
Nervous, right?
Are there any announcements from staff? No, hearing none. Can I have a motion to move into executive session for land acquisition and disposal?
So moved.
I have a motion from Councilwoman Mentor. Do you want a second? I have a second from, oh my God, from Council Mackey.
Yes.
All those in favor say aye. All those opposed. Okay, we are moving into executive session. Thank you, everybody, for coming.
Thank you.